Have you ever woken from a dream so vivid that the colors and feelings seem to cling to the air around you? Perhaps it was a place you have never visited, but somehow recognized. Perhaps it was a person you have not seen in years, speaking a sentence that keeps echoing in your mind. And perhaps, as you sat on the edge of your bed, you wondered, did this mean something? Was there a message in it for me? For as long as human beings have existed, we have dreamed. And for just as long, we have asked the same questions. Are dreams only the leftovers of our days, a mental byproduct of a busy brain? Or are they teachers, guides, warnings, mirrors? Are they entirely personal? Or do they point to something we all share, an ancient language of images that speaks to every culture and every time? In this journey, we will move from modern neuroscience to ancient wisdom. We will explore how the sleeping brain works, why certain symbols repeat around the world, and why some dreams seem to reach beyond the edge of our individual lives. Most importantly, we will learn how to work with our own dreams in practical ways, so that what happens at night can bring clarity, creativity, and courage to the day. Let us begin where science invites us, inside the nocturnal classroom of the mind. Each night, your sleep cycles move through stages: a gentle descent into light sleep, a deep slow wave phase that restores and repairs, and periods of REM, rapid eye movement, when the most vivid dreaming often arises. In REM, the body is largely still, but the brain is astonishingly active. Memory regions fire, emotional centers glow. Networks involved in creativity and association weave together ideas that may not have met during the day. Sleep is not the absence of work. Sleep is different work. One of the first tasks of this classroom is memory. We do not keep every detail of every day. That would be unbearable. The brain selects, organizes, and integrates. New information is stabilized. Old information is refiled. Stray details are either woven into stories we can use or set aside. Students who sleep after studying often recall more than those who push through the night. Musicians refine melodies, athletes polish timing. Language learners find phrases clicking into place in the morning that would not come the night before. Beneath the surface, consolidation is happening. A second task is emotional regulation. Consider the quiet therapy of a night's sleep. You go to bed with a feeling that is too large to handle. In dreams, the feeling is rehearsed, reframed, and sometimes softened. It can be intense, yes, but in that intensity, the mind is practicing how to face, how to hold, how to understand. Even difficult dreams have a function. They allow the nervous system to process experience in a safe simulation, to test possible responses without real-world risk. A third task is problem-solving and creativity. History is crowded with stories of solutions that arrived at night. A scientist glimpses a structure that had eluded them for months. A composer wakes with a melody fully formed. An inventor sees the missing step between two ideas and can sketch it by breakfast. These are not accidents. By loosening the grip of literal thought, the dreaming brain can connect distant islands of memory, emotion, and knowledge into a new continent of understanding. If dreams teach, what language do they use? Not paragraphs, not bullet points. Dreams speak in images, settings, gestures, and moods. They can feel obvious or baffling, simple or layered. They can say more in a flash of recognition than an hour of analysis. And what is astonishing is that across cultures and times, many of these images rhyme. Consider how often people dream of moving freely through the air. Without learning it from anyone, people in different countries and centuries report the same sensation of release, of seeing the world from above, of reaching a place that seemed out of reach. It is tempting to say, flying always means freedom, and sometimes that is true, but dreams resist rules. For one person, it might express ambition, for another, spiritual longing. For a third, the memory of play. The image is shared. The meaning is yours. Another recurring theme is the loss of balance or footing, the sense of falling or of the ground shifting beneath you. Sometimes this echoes a current worry, too many plates spinning, not enough control. Sometimes it points to a needed surrender, a situation that cannot be held by force. The same is true of being pursued. What is behind you in the dream is often something inside you in waking life, a task deferred, a conversation avoided, a truth asking to be heard. Some symbols appear so often that they almost form an alphabet. A house often stands for the self. Different rooms suggest different parts of life. A staircase can be transition. A bridge can be connection. A road can be the path you are on. Water almost always has to do with feeling, whether it is a clear lake of calm, a foggy shore of uncertainty, or a storm-tossed sea of emotion. Light can be insight. A closed gate can be a boundary. A key can be permission or readiness. None of this is a dictionary. It is a starting place for listening. Human beings have always listened. The earliest civilizations left records of dream interpretation. In Mesopotamia and Egypt, people kept manuals that listed common images and possible meanings. Rulers consulted them before campaigns. Families turned to them during illness. In Greek temples dedicated to healing, the sick would sleep in hopes of a guiding dream. Philosophers debated whether dreams came from the body, the soul, or the divine. Across the Americas, many indigenous nations treated dreams as sources of guidance for the community, not just the individual. In East Asian traditions, dreams were read as reflections of harmony and imbalance. In Tibetan practice, dream yoga developed as a path to insight and compassion through awareness in the dream state. Though the theology and language differed, one intuition persisted: dreams matter. They are not idle decoration. They are woven into how we make meaning and how we grow. Then we meet the stories that press beyond the strictly personal. Some people dream of events before they occur: a meeting, a place, a conversation that later unfolds with a strange sense of déjà vu. Skeptical explanations exist: coincidence, selective memory, the mind noticing patterns it had already registered without conscious attention. These should be considered. But even after considering them, the sheer number of such reports leaves the door open to wonder. Perhaps the dreaming mind, freed from the urgency of the day, notices weak signals and stitches them into a picture. Perhaps there are forms of connection we do not yet fully understand. There are also accounts of shared dreaming, two people waking with the same scene in mind, the same words spoken by a familiar figure, the same landscape described from different rooms and different cities. Intimacy and empathy certainly play a role. We influence one another more than we know. But the experience for those involved is often one of deep reassurance, as if the dream confirmed a bond that daytime life already knew. Whether we explain these phenomena through psychology or through more mysterious hypotheses, the invitation is the same. Pay attention, do not force a conclusion. Let experience instruct you. Most dreams will be about your own life, your work, your relationships, your health, your hopes, translated into images. A few may feel like messages sent across a wider field. Either way, listening with humility will serve you. How then do we listen well? It begins with remembering. Dreams are like mist at sunrise, they vanish quickly. If you want to work with them, make it easy for them to stay. Keep a notebook by your bed. Place a pen where your hand can find it without searching. If writing is difficult upon waking, use a small recorder and speak softly into it before the images break apart. Even a few words can anchor a whole scene later. When you record, do not analyze yet. Write what you recall, even if it seems trivial. A color, a phrase, the sense of a hallway, the way the air felt, the expression on a face. Give the dream a title as if it were a story in a newspaper. The bridge at dusk, the unpacked suitcase, the clock without hands. Titles help patterns reveal themselves over time. As the days pass, you may surprise yourself by noticing that bridges occur whenever you consider a career change, or that suitcases appear when family plans are in motion. The next step is to attend to feeling. Ask yourself, what was the strongest emotion in this dream? Relief, fear, curiosity, joy, confusion? The feeling is often the key that opens the door. Once you choose a word for it, ask where in your current life you feel the same way. The outer details of the dream may be strange, but its mood often aligns with something quite ordinary and present. A helpful framework is to look at 4 aspects: pattern, emotion, context, and trigger. Patterns: what recurs from dream to dream? Emotion: what feeling was most intense at the peak? Context: what is happening in your days that matches that feeling? Trigger: what preceded the dream? Something you watched, a conversation you had, a task you have been postponing. Writing a few lines under each heading can turn a mystery into a message. Remember that dreams speak in metaphors. If you dream of a locked room in a house, the dream may be asking about an area of life you do not visit often, an ability, a relationship, a memory. If you dream of missing a train by seconds, the dream may be playing with timing and choice. If you dream of murky water, the dream may be suggesting that feelings are present but unclear. The metaphor is the map. Follow it gently. Here is where practice becomes powerful. Establish a short pre-sleep ritual. Dim the lights earlier than usual. Put your phone away. Breathe slowly for a minute or 2. Then speak a simple intention in your mind. I welcome a dream that helps me understand what I need to know. Do not demand. Invite. The difference matters. Demands tighten the mind. Invitations open it. On waking, linger. Before you reach for the day, let the dream come back to you. Ask, where was I? Who was there? What happened just before I woke? Often the final scene is the most concentrated message. Once a week, choose one dream to explore more fully. Write it in the present tense, as if it is happening now. Then write a short conversation with one symbol from the dream. If the symbol is a bridge, write, bridge, why are you here? An answer in the voice of the bridge. It sounds playful, but it can be astonishingly revealing. The mind is adept at speaking through image. To support this work, consider a 7-day reset. On day 1, prepare your space for rest and set the intention to remember. On day 2, capture a few lines upon waking, even if you recall almost nothing. On day 3, give your dream a title and 2 tags, one for the main emotion, one for the main theme. On day 4, use the pattern emotion context trigger list to explore one dream for 5 minutes. On day 5, choose one small action that honors a dream's wisdom. Make the call you have been delaying. Step outside to breathe where the lake was calm. Put away a task that is not truly yours. On day 6, share one dream with a trusted person. Speaking it aloud often clarifies what it means. On day 7, review the week's entries and circle repeats. You will have begun to build your personal lexicon. There are also advanced practices for those who feel curious. Lucid dreaming is the art of becoming aware while dreaming that you are dreaming. This awareness can allow you to look more closely at an image, to ask a question, or simply to rest deeply in the beauty of a scene. Gently training for lucid dreams involves reality checks during the day, asking yourself, am I dreaming? While looking at your hands or reading a line of text twice and noticing if it changes. Before sleep, you can repeat a quiet intention. When I am dreaming, I will know. Patience is required. The goal is not control. The goal is awareness. Another path is creative expression. Sketch one element from a dream, even crudely. Write a few lines of poetry. Pick a piece of music that carries the dream's mood and listen to it while you journal. Creativity anchors memory and lets meaning rise from below the threshold of ordinary thought. Across history and across faiths, dreams have been treated as serious terrain. In the stories of the ancient Near East, dreams carried guidance for leaders and families alike. In later traditions, wise people counseled discernment. Not every dream is a revelation, but some carry weight. Mystics and poets in many cultures wrote of visions at night that brought comfort or conviction, and communities sometimes set aside time to listen together. Whether one reads these stories religiously, philosophically, or as cultural history, they remind us that we belong to a long conversation. We are not the first to ask, we will not be the last. Let us pause for stories that can act as mirrors. A woman in midlife had a recurring dream of an unfamiliar house with many rooms. One door was always closed. She decided to ask, while awake, "Where in my life am I not willing to look?" She realized she had been postponing a conversation with a sibling after a misunderstanding years before. She wrote a letter not to settle the past in one stroke, but to open a window. The conversation began. Weeks later, the dream returned. The door opened and sunlight fell across a wooden floor. The house did not change. Her relationship to it did. A man in a period of career uncertainty dreamed he ran for a train, always arriving just as the doors slid shut. At first, he took it literally and worried about punctuality. But when he worked with the feeling, pressure in the chest, urgency mixed with hesitation, he recognized that he was delaying a decision. He drew a simple timeline for himself, spoke with 2 mentors, and chose a date to act. A month later, he dreamed he stood on the platform early, calm, ticket in his hand, watching the countryside roll by. The image was the same. The sentence had changed. A caregiver dreamed repeatedly of a restless sea. Each time, the waves would rise and she would wake before they reached her. In waking life, she had little space to feel her own sadness and fear. She began to set aside 10 quiet minutes twice a week. No phone, no obligation, simply to breathe and allow whatever came. The dream shifted. The wave lifted her gently. She floated. The horizon was wide. The sea did not become small, but it became a place she could belong to, not only endure. These are not miracles. They are the ordinary grace of attention. Now step back with me to the wider view. Tonight, as darkness falls across the world, billions of people will sleep. Children, parents, elders, people in cities and villages, by coasts and in mountains, behind doors and under the open sky. Their lives differ in language, work, and custom. But in sleep, a familiar chorus begins. Across distance with no plan and no rehearsal, the human mind begins to sing. Some will dream of journeys, roads that curve through forests, paths that appear where none were before. Some will dream of thresholds, gates, keys, rooms long forgotten now entered. Some will dream of water, clear or clouded, gentle or strong. Some will dream of old companions who speak one sentence, the exact sentence needed. Some will wake with an image so simple it almost vanishes, and yet it will steady them all day. The details are unique, the patterns are shared. Is this a universal language? In one sense, yes. The alphabet of image and mood is deeply human. We seem to be born knowing it. Yet the story written with that alphabet is always particular. Dreams keep us connected to what we share, while guiding us to what is specifically ours to learn, to repair, to create. If you choose to work with your dreams, a few gentle cautions can help. Do not frighten yourself with rigid interpretations. If a meaning harms your sense of dignity or safety, set it aside and seek a kinder reading that still honors the feeling. If repeated distressing dreams interrupt your rest or bring past trauma to the surface, consider speaking with a professional who understands how dreams can both heal and hurt. Your well-being is more important than any theory. At the same time, do not dismiss dreams too quickly. Many are simple housekeeping for the mind, sweeping the day's dust into corners. But even then, there can be coins in the dustpan, a phrase, a color, a small gesture that says, Pay attention here. In a world overflowing with noise, a nightly message from within is a rare and honest thing. And so, tonight, when you prepare for sleep, make a quiet promise to yourself. Dim the lights. Breathe slowly. Ask a single humble question. What do I need to know right now? Do not chase an answer. Let it come if it will. Keep your notebook within reach. When morning light arrives, capture whatever remains. 3 words are enough. Title it, circle the feeling. Take one small action that honors what you learned, even if the lesson is only to rest. By doing this, you join a long lineage of people who treated the night as a companion, not a void. You allow what is unseen to contribute to what is seen. You let your days be guided by a wisdom that does not shout, but that rarely lies. I would love to hear what you discover. Share a dream that stayed with you, an image, a sentence, a place you return to. What patterns have you noticed over the years? What changed in your life when the dream changed? Your story may help someone else recognize their own. If this exploration resonated with you, subscribe to Iriondoa, give this video a like, and share it with friends and loved ones who are also curious about the deeper layers of life. The more of us there are listening and learning together, the richer this conversation becomes. Let us keep decoding this language that we all speak at night so that we can live more clearly, more kindly, and more bravely in the day. Sweet dreams.